welcome to Shakespeare Shorts 2024. I'm Rebecca Dobbs, a trustee of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust and a producer-director who's made many films about the life and works of William Shakespeare over the last 20 years. It's a great pleasure to be chairing this panel. My huge thanks go to the other panellists who've given their time and expertise to judging Shakespeare Shorts this year. They are Mina Wood, Alex Nikolic, and Sheila Marshall, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Mina Wood. I'm a development producer working at My Vision International, and it's great to be part of this panel again.
Hi, my name is Alexander Nikolic. I'm a filmmaker and editor working in documentaries and a little bit in fiction, and actually quite a lot in hybrids at the moment. I've done a couple of feature docs which screened around the world. My claim to Shakespeare expertise comes from editing several films on Shakespeare.
And my name's Sheila Marshall. I'm a producer-director of many documentary and a writer based in London.
There were 5 categories in this year's competition. Best film inspired by the theme The Women Who Made Shakespeare, Best Shakespeare Shorter Shorts, Best Shakespeare-themed animation, Best Shakespeare film or animation by a young filmmaker from 7 to 11 years old, and Best Shakespeare film or animation by a young filmmaker from 12 to 17 years old. And now for the first category. In the Women Who Made Shakespeare category, we had several strong contenders, but we decided to give the award to Two Amelias, directed by Charlie Mitchell. Two Amelias shines a light on a brilliant and perhaps underrated speech from Othello, reframing it as a dialogue between 2 podcast presenters, played by Hayley Johnson and Sabrina Blakeney. Our panel thought this was a strong and original concept which translated well onto film, showing how contemporary the speech still feels today while staying completely true to the original text. We'd also like to give a special mention to Outdamned Spot by David Lane. Although it didn't completely fulfill the brief of the category, the panel found it to be an extremely accomplished piece of work with high production values and a strong narrative arc. Well done to both filmmakers.
But I do think it is the husband's fault if wives do fall. Say that they slack their duties and pour our treasures into foreign laps, or else break out into peevish jealousies, throwing restraints upon us, or say that they strike us and scant our former having in despite. While we have galls, and though we have some grace, yet have we some revenge.
Let husbands know their wives have sense like them. They see and smell and have their palates for both sweet and sour as husbands have. What is it that they do when they change us for others? Is it sport?
I think it is.
Doth affection breed it?
I think it does.
Is it frailty that thus errs?
It is so too.
And have not we affections and desire for sport and frailty as men have? Then let them use us well. Else let them know the ills we do, their ills instruct us so.
In the category of Best Shakespeare Shorter Shorts, we had quite a tough time of choosing between 2 exceptional films. But there had to be one winner, and after thorough deliberation, we decided to award the winning spot to What Dreams May Come by Anthony Kelly. The film masterfully captures the essence of Shakespeare's soliloquy from Hamlet. It transposed the narrative into the present day, and using a collage of video formats and faux archive, which reminded us of the work of Oliver Stone, the film captures the intensity and the drama of the Hamlet's famous dilemma. we found it to be a highly accomplished piece of work. In addition to our winner, though, we decided to award a special mention to For Both Are Infinite by Jack Barry. The film takes the viewers on a poignant journey to the complexities of forbidden love, skillfully blending the modern and medieval worlds with grace and finesse. It is a lot of story to cover in 3 minutes, and this film pulls it off. Huge congratulations to both films.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more. By sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub, where in that sleep of death what dreams may come. And we have shuffled off this mortal coil. Must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love?
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Laws delay the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin. Who would fardels bear? To grunt and sweat under a weary life. But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, makes us rather bear those ills we have, and fly to others we know not of. This conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought.
You promised me to wed.
And enterprises of great pith and moment, with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action.
We were treated to a plethora of exceptional contenders vying for the title of Best Shakespeare-themed animation. However, amidst the lineup, one stood out. This animation captured the essence of Shakespeare with precision. Its interpretation of the "I there's the rub" segment from Hamlet's iconic "To be or not to be" soliloquy was powerful. A testament to the dedication and craftsmanship behind it, this piece is a true labour of love. Its frames bubble with colour and washes, giving the animation a lively texture, adding a level of visual neurosis to the nightmare of insomnia, which is the subject of the film. Its imaginative narrative, coupled with dynamic movement and fluidity, held us spellbound. The sequences of imagery take us to deeper levels of sleep-deprived madness through hallucinations and fantastic visions before dropping the victim back to sleep, perchance to dream. Moreover, its unique perspective on the enigmatic nature of dreams and death resonated deeply with us, inviting introspection and contemplation. So it's with great pleasure that we present the award for Best Shakespeare-themed animation to Cannot Sleep by the talented Ying-Jie Cho.
And now, the prize for the best Shakespeare film by young filmmakers aged 7 to 11 years goes to Elizabethan Theatre. Made by the pupils of the 6th Intercultural Primary School, Eleftherio, Thessaloniki, Greece, under the guidance of their teacher, Chrysoula Nikopoulou. Witty, creative, informative and brilliantly executed, this stop-motion animation film is a delight to watch, and it taught us so much. Congratulations to all involved.
The Elizabethan Theatre took its name from Queen Elizabeth I and lasted from 1562 to 1642. The Queen herself was very theatre-loving and often organized entertainments in her court that included performances of religious plays. The common people attended short theatrical sketches with elements of farce played in the large yards of some public inns. They were arranged by the owner for his customers.
The first permanent theatre roof in London was built in 1576 by James Burbage and was called the Theatre. London officials were opposed to the development of theatres as they were deeply conservative. They argued that actors were vagabonds and that theatres only attracted criminals. Thus, theatres were built outside the city limits of the time. Despite the obstacles, the success of the first theatre led to the creation of other similar theatres, such as the Rose, the Swan, and of course the Globe, Shakespeare's theatre. The troops that staged the plays were under the patronage of a wealthy nobleman. The different troops had different organization and internal regulations. In the Lord Chamberlain's men troupe, to which Shakespeare belongs, the actors owned their own plays, had their own costumes, and even owned a few shares in the company, which brought them some part of the profits. There were no female actors in Elizabethan England. Boys, specially selected for their slim build but also for their sweet voice, were trained alongside older actors in order to successfully perform the female roles. The comic actors of the troupe played the old women of the plays.
In their construction, theatres were circular, wooden, and open. Since there was no artificial light, performances were scheduled during the day when there was natural light. Of course, since it often rains in London, there were several wet performances. There were no sets but some props. Theatres had a tower-like roof. From that point, the starting signal was given by the sound of a trumpet, while a flag was waving during the performance that represented the type of drama one would expect. A white flag for comedies, a black flag for tragedies, and a red flag for historical dramas. The most famous Elizabethan stage was the Globe Theatre, built in 1599 on the south bank of the Thames.
Let us now look at the parts of the theatre looking inside the globe. The pit. People paid 1 penny to stand here and watch the performance, rain or shine. Those people were called groundlings. They will drop the coins into a box as they entered, hence the term box office. The galleries. 3 covered seating sections for the worthier people that cost 2 pennies. The main stage, where the main action of the play took place. It was so small that no more than 12 actors could appear at the same time. The trapdoor. Door built into the main stage where actors could appear or disappear through it. The upper stage. Another acting area used for most bedroom and balcony scenes. The heavens. The roof over the globe stage painted with stars, moons, and signs of the zodiac. The tiring rooms. The place where actors kept and changed their costumes.
Shakespeare's masterpieces were first performed on the stage of the Globe by his troupe. William Shakespeare is one of the most important writers of this period. Born in Stratford-upon-Avon in 1564, he moved to London at the age of 28. He was a writer, actor, and shareholder in the Globe Theatre, and until the end of his life, he wrote 36 plays. His works are comedies, tragedies, and historical dramas. They talk about life, death, and love, about human triumphs and failures. In his works, Shakespeare used his own special language, rich in metaphors and vivid images. In fact, he invented new words and expressions that we still use today.
During Shakespeare's career, theaters closed 3 times for periods of several months to 2 years because of the plague pandemic. When the number of dead people reached a certain level, all public gatherings were banned. The Globe Theatre burned down in 1612 while Shakespeare's Henry VIII was being performed by a firing cannon. It was rebuilt the following year and ran until 1642, when all London theatres were closed due to the Civil War for 18 years. And that was the end of the Elizabethan era.
And the prize for the best Shakespeare film by a young filmmaker aged between 12 to 17 goes to Macbeth, Act 3, Scene 3 by Bodie Gilroy. This is a creative retelling of the murder of Banquo, set in Colorado. The filmmaker directed, shot, edited, and acted in the piece, and we were really impressed by the cinematography and mix of shots, as well as the use of location and the atmosphere he created. Well done.
Hi, everyone. Well, you've given me a really tough job. I've watched these 5 films this afternoon, and there's not one that I didn't love. I thought they were so different. They said such different things. They used surrealism and reality and emotion and intent, ideas, representation, dreams, sleep. I mean, so many Shakespearean things are crammed into these few minutes of films. Really, really well done. You've transported me to other worlds, and that's what I wanted. That's what I would ask from any storytelling. It has been a really tough choice. I would have awarded all of you, but I think you've all won something, if I'm right. I hope you have. So I have chosen joint winners because of the scale of the storytelling. And even when things seem small, actually they can say so much. And I think that's Shakespeare, the opposition of the storytelling. But congratulations, every single one of you. It is really superb work.
My name is Jennifer Shufflebotham, Audience Engagement Manager at the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust, and I'm pleased to share these comments on behalf of Sir Kenneth Branagh. It was a great pleasure to once again be part of the Shakespeare Shorts event. As ever, the standard of the films was extremely high and a pleasure to watch in all cases. Thank you for all this hard work. They are all worthy winners, and I am excited to see more work in the future from all of these filmmakers. But as I have been asked to make a patron's choice, I will. The Two Amelias podcast was such an original and muscular take on this character and this speech that I'm truly delighted to make it my patron's choice. A great idea, flawlessly executed, the text served with relish and clarity. This was brief and brilliant. Congratulations and thanks to all who took part. I commend each and every one of you. See you next year, Kenneth Branagh.
And finally, over to Charlotte Scott, Professor of Shakespeare Studies, for her thoughts on this year's Women Films.
Hi, my name is Charlotte Scott and I'm a Professor of Shakespeare Studies. It's been a great privilege to be part of the process of the Shakespeare Shorts competition, to see the creativity, the insight, the interpretation and the vast imagination that everyone who's taken part has brought to this project. One of the things that's very striking is that Shakespeare survives on adaptation, and seeing the way that these filmmakers have thought through the various ways in which they've interpreted, responded to, animated and explored some of the themes, ideas and imaginings behind these productions is a real testimony not only to the power that Shakespeare has to still invite and support creativity, but to the brilliant minds and artists who've taken part in this project.
So thank you to everybody who took the time and trouble to send in their films to Shakespeare Shorts 2024. We really enjoyed watching all of them, and we thank you so much for your energy and dedication to the works of William Shakespeare. See you next year. Bye.